En la ciudad de Nueva Orleans estamos en el show de las albercas, el show internacional de las albercas, y está conmigo Chris Anderson, que es el fundador y es el CEO de la compañía Let's Lounger, que es una compañía que ahorita nos va a platicar él mismo cómo creció, pero es la compañía de la que nosotros somos representantes en México y les hemos enseñado mucho los muebles que hacen para las albercas. Ellos, la verdad, la idea que tuvieron ellos de hacer muebles que se puedan meter al agua, desde que los conocimos hace años se nos hizo padrísima, y son muebles que nosotros nos gusta poner en nuestras albercas. Son unos muebles muy vistosos, muy resistentes, la verdad, los hemos puesto en muchas, a nuestros clientes les encantan. Personalmente nosotros los hemos usado en nuestras albercas, en la alberca de nuestra casa, de nuestros amigos. Y bueno, aquí estamos con Chris para que nos cuente algo de la historia de Let's Lounger. So Chris, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me here today.
It's a pleasure. And
Absolutely.
I would like you to tell us, our friends,
Sure.
in Mexico, how did you start the company? How did you came up with the idea of this wonderful furniture?
Well, I appreciate the question. So ultimately, I've kind of grown up in the swimming pool industry. My father was a pool builder, started the company back in 1980 in Houston, Texas. He kind of did a nice custom project. He's kind of averaged maybe a $70,000 swimming pool, US of course, and ultimately, I told myself I'd never go work for him when I was a kid growing up, right? I always wanted to not join the family business and go out to corporate America and either do something for myself or go, I had this idea that I wanted to put on a suit every day and go to work. And a lot of it's because I had to dig the ditches when I was a kid growing up, right? My father would take us on the weekends and he'd have to work. So he'd give us shovels and we'd be on the job site, we'd be digging ditches because that was the only thing I had two older brothers and that's what would keep us busy, right? Ultimately, I went off after college. I went to a couple different corporate businesses, corporate companies, got some jobs, and enjoyed it. Had a great time, learned a lot, and then ultimately just was kind of not happy working in the corporate world. And I told myself I'll just go back to Houston and work for my dad for a little bit until I figure out what I want to do. And
How old were you?
What's that? I was probably 3 years out of college. So at the time I would assume somewhere around 28 years old. This is back in probably 2009, 2008. And, immediately I fell in love with the design and sales of swimming pools. And what I also found was our customers wanted more. They didn't just want the swimming pool. They wanted the cabanas. They wanted the summer kitchens. They wanted the landscaping. They wanted a one-stop shop to go buy everything. So I changed the philosophy of the company to, we're not just going to come in and build a swimming pool. We're going to come in and design the entire exterior space. So we would even do driveways and sidewalks. It got to the point where we just take over the whole exterior space of the house. And we worked for a lot of home builders, and they loved it because they only had one person that they had to deal with, and we would pretty much contract the entire space, design the entire space. So ultimately, after doing that for a few years, I started selling a lot of furniture on jobs. And we would always see people take their metal patio furniture and pull it into the swimming pool. And first of all, what a lot of people don't realize is any metal within 5 feet of the water of the swimming pool has to be bonded, right? Because if the GFCI is short, if there's a short in the electrical, it can send that current through the chair and ultimately into the person sitting on it or touching that metal. So that's why handrails and ladders and even the metal inside the gunite over the concrete is bonded.
It's bonded, yeah.
So I started seeing a lot of people, metal furniture, a lot of apartment complexes, a lot of multifamily, a lot of hospitality with metal furniture in their pools. And they didn't realize the liability, right? So I had one particular job. It was a really, really wealthy client. It was a little over $1 million exterior project. Palm trees, exterior of the house, beautiful pool, negative edges, out on the water, on the bay, beautiful place. And I knew that was the project. I wanted to come up with something that was different, that we could put on the tanning ledge and not have to worry about the metal being destroyed or the metal liability issue or even the metal transferring onto the plaster, the interior finish of the swimming pool. And so ultimately, about 2 years of development, trying a lot of different methods to build something, I came across this manufacturing method and just immediately connected to it and really enjoyed it and realized that this was going to be the thing. You know, this is what we were going to do. So immediately I put it on a couple of the jobs that I was working on, and we're talking specifically about the ledge lounger chaise, the shallow water chaise. We call it the signature chase now. And ultimately I put it on 4 or 5 of my jobs, and I never thought I was going to build a company with the product. I thought I was going to satisfy the need of my customer. And little did I know, I started posting some pictures on Facebook of my projects completed, and they had this product in there.
What year was
this was right in about 2011, late 2011. And sure enough, messages after messages after messages, where do I get that? Where do I get that? Where do I get that? And so we ramped up production a little bit. And
those first loungers were all white? Or did you start with some colors?
So we immediately had some colors. The facility that at the time that we had make them for us already had a number of colors that they were making other products with. And so it just made a lot of sense for us to just go ahead and utilize those colors as well. So we had 13 colors right off the bat. You'll see that we also had a red and an orange. Since then we've realized red and orange don't work very well in the water. The chlorine well, the sun they're fine. The UV is okay. It's the chlorine, it sucks the pigment out of the color out of the product. So it looks like it's fading underwater. And obviously it's not the sun because it is underwater, right?
I thought the sun also faded those warm colors.
So we have a UV16 package. So this is the same resin they're using in Australia. And Australia has some of the harshest sunlight. 16,000 hours of 90-degree overhead sunlight, right? So the way it's tested is if the sun were to shine directly down on the chair for 16,000 hours, that's when you will begin to notice that it fades.
Wow.
Right? So we believe we're talking about an 8-year before we're going to see any kind of fading and that sort of thing. Now, of course, it depends on, if you think about it, the sun's really never at 90 degrees.
No.
It's usually, maybe at an angle, behind a house, behind a tree. So you might only have 5 or 6 hours of true sun exposure to that product every day. So we've been now selling them since 2011, and we've had that particular product in some commercial environments for ultimately 7 years, and they've never replaced them. And when we talk,
great.
they're still, well, they are scuffed up a little bit. I mean, I'm not going to say that they look perfect and pristine. We're talking about casinos where they have thousands of people every day in and out of their pools.
Coming and going, yeah.
So when we take that and we apply it to more residential area, there's no reason why these products shouldn't last 15 to 20 years in a residence. Now, yes, you'll see some fading after maybe 8 to 10 years, but when we say fading, you won't even really realize they're fading, right? It's going to be very, very small percent over a long period of time. Now, certainly if you grab the brand new one, 10 years from now, and you put it next to an older one,
you will see a difference.
You would notice the difference. But if you had the two, let's just say you had 2 light blue products sitting in your ledge, more than likely, you're not going to identify the fact that they're fading, even for, again, 15 years or so. So it's been a long ride. Got a great team. We've really we've always tried to support the business from the standpoint of as soon as we realize that we need somebody else on the team, we go out and bring them on. So we've really invested a lot of money back into the business. We've gone from that one product to probably over 120 products.
Wow.
In our catalog today.
That's a lot for just in a few years. I mean,
it's a tremendous amount, and it has been extremely stressful. And there's been times when our whole team, wants to throw their hands up in the air and say, "Man, like, why? When are we going to slow down?" But the reality is, we all enjoy it. We enjoy that commotion. We enjoy that rush. We enjoy that push. We enjoy the feedback from our clients when we come to trade shows and they tell us how great they think our products are. We love seeing pictures of our products, and that's probably one of the coolest things is
you see your product everywhere.
Product shows up. I mean, if you look at the marketing for a hotel, if you look at the marketing for an apartment complex, if you look at the marketing for anything, what does my pool look like, right? Because that is the #1 driving factor to a resort or to for most people. So we've really benefited off that from a marketing perspective, that our product does show up in a lot of the mainstream photos. So it's really easy to have great content, but it's certainly hard to stay in front of it, keep innovating, keep coming out with a new thing, because you know, on some of the social media, people get tired of kind of seeing the same thing over and over and over. So we've got to keep up with that, and we're doing that through, you'll see at the show here, hopefully some video of it, but you'll see a lot of new colors that we're introducing. We're really
noticed
excited
them
about
yesterday,
that.
yes.
We're looking for people to vote and tell us which colors they like and which colors they think will be a hit. So we're going to bring those to market. We are introducing 3 new products for next year. I don't want to dig into them too much right now because they're not public yet, but I'm excited to show those off when the time comes.
You always have something new.
Absolutely.
That's what we love about your company.
If you don't, then you're going to fall behind and you're going to get run over, you know. One thing that I think is critical too is we listen to our customers. We're always asking questions. You know, what is it that you need? What is it that's not working for you? What is it that you're getting asked for that you can't find? And that should drive our production. That should drive our R&D. And we don't want to settle. If there's a way to make it better than what's already on the market, we're going to do it. We're going to figure that out. Because, for example, our patio furniture. We had a very successful business with our in-pool furniture, and we didn't really have to go into patio. But what we realized was you can go buy patio furniture at some of the most top brand companies, some of the retailers, some of the online companies, and it's very, very, very expensive stuff. And it will last, the cushions last less than 2 years, right? So what we said was, hey, our business does not revolve around the patio, so let's come out with the best stuff we can, put a reasonable price on it that actually makes sense, and let's take it to market. Let's see if people buy it. If they don't, no big deal, because we have this other business over here. So we didn't say how cheaply can we build a cushion to get the price point as low as we can get it so that we can go sell thousands of these. We said, how do we build a cushion that you can leave outside in the rain, that is the best material on the market, that is the best foam on the market, that is not going to hold water and retain water after heavy rain. All of our cushions, you can go sit on them after 2 hours after it rains, and they're not going to be wet. Most patio furniture today, it's wet for 24 hours. You go sit on it the next day and it's saturated. It's mildewing, it's molding. So I'll certainly share with you some of the makeups of how we build our cushions for them to last. But again, that comes with a little bit of a price point, which some people are hesitant to pay. But typically what happens is they'll go out and buy the cheaper stuff first. They'll have it for a couple of years and they'll realize, hey, this is
something better.
Lasting. I need something better. I need something more quality. And then that's when our stuff will come to the picture, because they remembered, yeah, it was a little bit more expensive, but it's not just expensive because we expect a higher margin. It's expensive because we really put the quality and good materials.
A lot of quality on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great,
Yeah.
great. Well, I always like your booth. You know,
Thank you.
all the shows that we go.
Thank you.
And you do a great job with them.
Thank you.
Your stuff, we've been putting them on our swimming pools now for a while, and in different colors, the different shapes. We love them, and we hope that you keep coming up with new ideas.
Thank you very much. We're really excited about your new showroom in Cancun, and really excited to get some product in there. So hopefully your customers can come by and drive through and see our stuff, and then your other locations as well. We'll get some product in there to display, and hopefully we can start seeing your customers with some of our patio furniture, some of our games. We've got our outdoor ping pong table right back here. We've got some
we were playing yesterday
games.
here.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So and it's even down to this, like, you know, yes, you can go buy a ping pong paddle, but it's not outdoor rated. You can't leave it outside.
No.
Right? It's wood, it's got the mesh on it. So we actually designed our own resin ping pong paddles. So you can leave them outside. You leave the whole table outside. You don't have to put it underneath an awning. So we're seeing a lot of builders start to design turf areas and just put the games out in the yard, even at the homeowners, you know, at the consumers' houses. So we're really trying to create a full backyard experience, and not just be a furniture company, but be a company that can offer things that homeowners want to go outside and enjoy, and kind of forget about the daily grind and just go out and have a good time.
Perfect. We'll be thinking about ideas and maybe sharing them with you.
Please,
So
we want to hear from your customers too. I mean, if they have any ideas, hopefully they'll share them with you. You can tell us, and we'll work towards it.
Great.
Awesome.
Great, great.
Hey, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Nice having you here, and hope to see you more often.
Well, we're excited to further the relationship for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.